Get those reactions ready. The show is about to begin.
Yes.
Back, still back, on the track, at the wall. See ya! He picks up where he left off.
The wait is over. It is opening day 2023, and we've got a recap of the Yankees versus the Giants. It was the first game for Aaron Judge as Yankees captain. It was the Major League debut of Anthony Volpe. My recap and your reactions coming up next. This is NYY Recaps.
Welcome.
This episode is brought to you by Game Time. You guys know I don't run an ad unless I personally endorse the product, and that's why I chose Game Time as the sponsor for this podcast. If there's one thing that stresses me out, it's trying to find great tickets to my favorite events without all the hassle and hidden fees. With killer deals on last-minute tickets and their best price guarantee, you can stop stressing over your tickets and start getting hyped for all the fun you're going to be having. It's the fastest-growing ticket app in the country for a reason. Get images of your seat before you buy, and with just a couple of taps on your smart device, you're all set, and the tickets are sent directly to your phone. Snag the tickets without the stress with Game Time. Download the app, create an account, and use the code NYY Recap. That's all one word, and there's no S. Why? I don't know. $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets. Lowest price. Guaranteed. Oh yeah. Baseball is back. A new season of games and their subsequent recaps are upon us. Shout out to all of you in the chats who have been here since the beginning, since December 2019 when this channel started. Also, as Douglas Ray says, or Rao says in the chat, biggest win of the year so far. Oh! I love it. I love it. All right. So thank you for bearing with me on the ads to open the show. I usually don't run a lot of ads on this channel, but we've grown to the point where we kind of have to run more of them in order to pay for the people who have got helping us out. Shout out to Frankie Baseball. This was the first game of many new eras in some respect. It was the first game of the Aaron Judge captaincy era. He is the 16th captain in team history, as you know. It was game one of the Anthony Volpe shortstop era, the youngest opening day rookie since Derek Jeter. I believe he's the first rookie to start for the Yankees on opening day since Hideki Matsui. Shout out to Godzilla. Also, day one of the pitch clock era. Games are going to be typically about 30 minutes shorter, and I scheduled this recap for about 2.5 hours after the game began, and it started pretty much right on time. So I think that's going to be about what you see this year, about 2.5 hour games, which, you know, I got to say, that's not too bad. I'm not one of those people who complained about the games being too long, but I understand you got to get kids involved. And a lot of times these games end too late for kids to really stay up and watch them, especially in the postseason. So, you know, I like it as a podcaster who builds the show during the game. I've got to work a little bit quicker this year, so it's actually kind of exhilarating to a degree. But all right, I see the chat is filling up. So let's talk about the man, the myth, the legend, the captain, Aaron Judge. So the rumors for most of the winter were that he was going to sign with the San Francisco Giants. There was even that weird Arson Judge tweet, the blunder heard round the world.
If you were to look up all-time bonehead plays.
Terrible tweet by John Heyman. You know, there was a chance that Judge could have signed with the Giants and been facing us on this opening day. And I have a feeling there would have been a totally different vibe in here if that had happened. And that would have been super awkward. He wasted absolutely no time today. You saw it in the intro.
That ball is high. It is far. It is gone.
A Judgian blast. All rise. Here
Solo home run
the judge.
to dead center field in his first at-bat of the season. First at-bat as captain. 109 miles an hour off the bat, 422 feet. Absolutely unbelievable. His first ever opening day home run. Last year, I did a little bit of a documentary style video called Chasing History. I hope you guys are ready for the sequel. I don't know what to call it. Maybe Chasing History 2, Chase Harder? I don't know. We'll see. Nice job by Aaron Judge today. Great call by Michael Kay, by the way. He picks up where he left off, and then David Cohn dropped in the paid in full reference. Loved it. So on the pitching side, pitching was a huge factor today. Garrett Cole was making his fourth opening day start since he signed that big 9-year contract. He got an opt-out. I believe it's after this season, so it'll be interesting to see if this is his last one. I doubt it will be. I think he's coming back. Been a lifelong Yankees fan. He's settled in, and I think he wants to win a title here. Funny stat, Garrett Cole had just one walk all spring, and then he walked the leadoff hitter on 4 pitches. I mean, that's what they mean when you say you can't predict baseball, Susan. He did come back, though. He struck out the side. He had the strikeout going like crazy in the first and second innings. He had actually 7 of his first 8 outs. His first 7 outs were all strikeouts, and then he had 8 strikeouts through 3 innings. So he was absolutely on fire. 10th strikeout came in the 4th inning. That set the Yankees' opening day record, and then he picked up his 11th strikeout in the 6th inning on his 95th pitch of the day. Very nice outing for Garrett Cole. 6 scoreless innings, 3 hits, 2 walks, 11 strikeouts. What a job. So we got to talk about Anthony Volpe. You know, he's making his debut, and I thought he had a fine game. He just seems like a really good baseball player, all-round kind of baseball player to me. He had a very selective plate appearance in his first at-bat. A lot of kids would have been swinging out of their shoes, but, you know, he was pretty patient. I mean, he swung at the first pitch, but it was a hanging slider. Can't blame him there. But then he took some close pitches off the outside corner. He actually took 5 close pitches. He walked, and then he promptly stole second base with ease. He also made a really nice play coming in on the ball to get an out at first base. And he started a 6-4-3 double play to help Garrett Cole, pitcher's best friend. Speaking of 6-4-3, Pat Hennessy is going to be on the show tomorrow night. We're going to do a little Friday night show. On the day, he was 0 for 2. He had a walk. He had a stolen base. Not a great stat line, but again, first game as a Yankee, I thought he did just fine. So Donaldson picked up a base hit in the bottom of the 4th. Nice thing for him to get off to a decent start, although he did have a hit. Actually, he had a walk-off hit in last year's opening day, and that didn't mean much. He also took one right down the middle for strike 3, and I was just sitting there just like, swing the bat this year, okay? Can we just swing the bat this year if it's down the middle? That would be nice. Next batter was Gleyber Torres.
There it goes. That ball is high. It is far. It is gone.
You guys thought it was opening day. It's Gleyber Day. First home run of the year for Gleyber Torres, obviously. Opposite field shot into the right field porch. 103 miles an hour off the bat. 373 feet. Not easy to drive a sinker the other way for a home run. Tremendous piece of hitting by Gleyber Torres. And he was pumped up. Probably just happy to be there. There were a lot of trade rumors this winter. And he's a guy who's going to benefit a lot from playing in Yankee Stadium precisely because of what we saw today. He takes advantage of that right field porch. He also drew a walk in the 7th inning, so nice job today by Gleyber Torres. DJ LeMahieu made it 4-0 with an RBI single in the bottom of the 7th. He had been 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts, but he avoided the golden sombrero, came up in a big spot, and added that insurance run. And then Judge followed up with a broken bat single to make it 5-0. Peralta looked good out of the pen today. Marinaccio looked good today. I believe he got the save. He did not get the save. He went 2 innings, struck out 3. So he does not get the save. Peralta and Loizaga both got holds, though. And Cole got the W. We have to mention the Giants fans that tuned in saw a great performance from Logan Webb. He had 12 strikeouts and was absolutely filthy. Unfortunately for you guys, though, not filthy enough.
Ball game over. Yankees win. Yankees win.
First win of the season.
You're a winner.
All right. So to me, the belt was kind of a tough choice today, but going by what I saw in the comments and the fact that he set a Yankees record on opening day, I really think we got to go with Garrett Cole.
Let's go. Belt winner.
A lot of people called this Volpening Day. It could have been called Colepening Day. Phenomenal performance. The slider was terrific. The velocity was good. When he was missing with the fastball, he was missing up and out of the zone, which is something he didn't do last year. Last year, you saw a lot of stuff right down the middle. And, this year, if he can control that fastball a little bit better and avoid those home runs, I think he might have a hell of a year. All right, let's get to your reactions. Yankees had one hell of a day, and now we get to have one hell of a night. 13th belt for Cole. Skin says, how do we keep Hicks out of the lineup? So it's worth noting that Oswaldo Cabrera was 0 for 4 today. Took the golden sombrero in the first game of the season. It's not what you want. I'm sure we're going to see a lot of Aaron Hicks this year, as Aaron Boone said. Ariana says, Yankees are off to a great start.
Absolutely. I wholly agree.
It was an amazing game. Shutouts are fun because you feel like you totally dominate the other team. It's like when you stuff a basketball shot and you just get to flex. Love it. Let's take a look at the box score. I'll continue to pull up your comments here. Let's watch the highlights first. We're going to do highlights this year. Got some new graphics today. Raleigh says, great work by Volpe at short today. I wholeheartedly agree. And Austin Harris says, expectations from Volpe this year. I just expect a solid year. He just looks like a solid player. Garrett Cole really had it working today. That slider was dropping off the table. You see Judge get this fastball. It's actually a sinker right down the middle of the plate. Low, barrels it up. Monument Park, that's where he's going one day. UT says, fire Marcus Timms. I love these kind of fan cams that they do with home runs these days on the baseball sites. It's just fun to watch the home runs from different angles. Garrett Cole with the high fastball. That one 96 above the zone. Again, 97 above the zone. Just filthy. All of his outs the first 2 innings were strikeouts. There's another breaking ball. He spots it on the outside corner, 88. 2-2 pitch, inside corner at 98. There's the close pitch walk from Volpe, and then he takes off for second, easily swipes the bag. That was not close. Ended up getting stranded. It's so much fun to see the stolen base back in the game again. Another strikeout from Garrett Cole on the slider. This looked like the changeup, up and away. So he was getting strikeouts on all of his pitches. There's the fastball, 97. Gets the slow roller, and Volpe with the nice play. Quick release. And then Gleyber Day hits one over the right field wall, 370 plus feet. Wouldn't have been a home run, I don't think, everywhere, but it's a home run here. That's all that matters. There are definitely parks where it would have been other than here, I think. And they give the I love you signs in sign language. This later on, Volpe going to his right, makes a nice, accurate throw to second. They turn the double play. And Garrett Cole, the fastball, strikeout number 11. There's the base hit from DJ to bring in a run. And then Aaron Judge bloops one in there for a base hit. And once again, game time. Use the code NYY Recap to get 20% off. All right, let's take a look at the box score here. You see the pitching line is the big story. 6 shutout innings from Cole. And then, we had 8 hits. That's not too bad. Judge with a multi-hit game, the only multi-hit game on the day. I thought Torres looked good. Stanton hit one hard on a submarine pitcher right back up the middle. LeMahieu obviously got off to a tough start, but as long as you pick up a base hit, I think you can call it a good day, especially if you pick up a ribby. They've got the top performers listed now on MLB.com. That kind of makes the belt search easier. All right, let's get back to your comments here. All right, James G says Hicks redemption year. I don't know. And an MSC film says Judge is going to hit 70. I'm with you, bro. So that was kind of like an out there prediction. But look, the man locked in. Last year it took him, I think, over a week to hit his first home run of the season. And then he went crazy from there. But I mean, this was not an easy day to hit a home run to center field. It was 40 degrees at game time, I believe. So, I mean, the ball's not traveling. It tends to travel a little bit more as the weather warms up. Not that he's a guy that needs help from the weather. Joan Seco says the balloon should get the belt. Lord Raiden says Oswaldo got to stay off the low inside breaking ball. That was a problem last year, especially from the left side of the plate. That down and in slider. And he also has trouble when you throw it kind of above the hands. He'll chase that high fastball. The problem with pitchers doing that, though, is if you miss down just a little bit, he's got real power. So if you throw him one, belt or stomach high, he will obliterate it. So I think that as a priority, he should try and lay off that down and inside pitch like you say, and then worry about the high fastball later on. But to me, yeah, it's definitely a problem. But I really feel like he's going to have a good year. Yankees Farm says that last K was a terrible call. Hey, it happens. That's baseball. Rob Manfred was saying yesterday that the automatic strike zone is probably the next thing that is going to get implemented in Major League Baseball. And I think that's a good idea. I mean, you like the human element, but if you can get the call right, get the call right, By the way, I wore my Aaron Judge hat today. This is a new hat that we've got in the store. But since the Yankees won, we're going to switch back to the fun hat. If you want to pick up that hat, you can go to NYYRecaps.shop. Link is in the profile. 2T2 says, this season is going to have a lot of poots. Can't wait. Get the Taco Bell sound for that one. All One says Judge is going to repeat as MVP this year.
That is correct.
I love it. Look, he looks locked in, and we already know that the skill is there. He's got the confidence now. He knows he can do it. He's the reigning MVP, so someone's got to essentially outperform him. I feel like Ohtani is the only guy who's got a chance right now, the way that Judge is playing. Ohtani last year, a lot of people wanted to give it to him because, I mean, he just impacts the game from both sides of the ball, but, it's most valuable player. And so winning has to factor into that. How valuable can you really be if your team comes in 4th or 5th place? That's why I think Judge is going to have an advantage if it's close. Now, you might say Ohtani gets the advantage because, he's got that New York bias working against Judge, and he's got the two-way player thing, which is kind of like a unicorn situation. It's just going to be a fun race. We'll see. Jake Block says, I'm worried about our rotation with a lot of injuries and stuff. Hopefully we can stay healthy. Look, it's going to be a tough couple of weeks to get through, but hopefully we'll get Rodon back end of this month, and then end of next April. It's March right now, but end of April, and then maybe Severino shortly thereafter. I'm confident that Domingo Germán can be solid. I mean, we look at him as a kind of fill-in guy because he wasn't originally penciled in to be in the rotation. But this guy's had good numbers for us in the past. He won 18 games a few years ago. Last year he pitched to about maybe a 3.5 ERA off the top of my head. I can't remember what it was, but he was solid. And then you've got Clark Schmidt, who, I really want to see what Clark Schmidt gives us tomorrow because he's added this cutter, right? And a cutter is a very, very effective pitch when it's consistent. The problem with Clark Schmidt is he's always been kind of a little bit inconsistent, right? I mean, he'll throw a great curveball, 3 or 4 great curveballs in a row, and then he'll hang one. Or he'll throw 3 good innings and then have a bad inning. I want to see him put it together for a whole game and just see how he does for 6 innings and have a really good start. I think having a good start in front of a big crowd, second game of the season, that'll be on Saturday, by the way. Yankees off tomorrow. that could give him the right momentum, the right boost of confidence to carry him into a big season. So we'll see how it works out. Lori C says, Volpe! And Dr. Van Nostrand says, Judge is on pace for 162 home runs.
Since when did you get so smart?
Love it. A lot of people saying that Judge might break his own record. I wouldn't count it out. I mean, I know that this guy's a competitor. Look, you got to argue about whether or not pitchers are going to pitch to him. I've seen that thrown back, people pushing back and saying, well, look, last year they stopped pitching to him and he stopped hitting home runs. That means somebody else on the Yankees is going to have to step up, either Rizzo or Stanton or somebody else. Andrew Calabria says, get used to the fun hat. You're going to wear it 110 more times.
Absolutely, hey.
Love it.
Oh, righty there.
Wampbag Doodle says, not a fan of automatic balls or strikes. I get the clock stuff, but if a guy is engaged, let it go. There has to be some common sense with these rules, not basketball or football. I get what you're trying to say, but ultimately I think that, and I'm going to disagree, I think that getting the call right whenever possible has to be the priority. Now, we've played baseball for over 100 years without the automatic strike zone, so it can be done, obviously. And, nobody remembers balls and strike calls for, 6 months ago, let alone a week ago. There's ones that stand out every once in a while. The Tino Martinez grand slam in the 98 World Series stands out. The pitch before that, there was a really close ball. Probably would have been called strike 3 if there had been an automatic strike zone. Umpire gives it to him. It was a ball. And then Tino hit the next pitch in the upper deck for a grand slam. So, I mean, there's going to be situations like that. But, look, I'm all in favor of getting it right whenever you could get it right. Douglas Rao says, I would always add Judge plays an above-average center field, while Ohtani, when he isn't starting, is DHing or only playing half the game. No impact on defense. I hear you. I hear you, but Aaron Judge doesn't pitch, right? So that kind of evens it out. I mean, Ohtani's going to give you probably 100-plus innings of 2.5 ERA this year. That's pretty damn good. Let's see here. Jets Mania says, hope Volpe will be the next good shortstop since a younger Didi Gregorius. I miss Didi. He was fun to watch. And Frankie Baseball says, better to be 1-0 than 0-1. 100% agree.
I hardly
So
agree.
Frankie will be joining me live later tonight around 8 o'clock. We're going to go live, me and Pete from NYY News TV. And Frankie, we're going to get on here, and we're just going to reflect on today and look forward to next week. Typically, we're going to do a Friday recap show, but Friday, there's no game this Friday, and Pete's got an event with NYY News TV. So we're just going to get together tonight and have a little chat. Hope you'll join us. That'll be around 8 p.m.
Game over, man. It's game over.
We're gonna get out of here.
Micah says, great win. 100% agree.
You gotta go.
Raleigh says, the Volpenator is here to stay. I agree. He looks fantastic. Like I said, he just looks like a really good baseball player, and I have a feeling he's going to get a lot of his own belt awards this season. Hey, thanks everybody for joining. As you can see, upper right-hand corner, we've got a new store, NYYRecaps.shop. We got some cool stuff. So, if you're listening, I just picked up a hat off the rack here. This is my favorite new hat that they've got that I've added. It's just kind of the NYY Recaps hat logo. We've got the Aaron Judge one. We've got some cool stuff, shirts and art and all sorts of good stuff. So check it out. Do me a favor and support the channel. And again, Game Time app, code NYY Recap. I don't know why they didn't put the S. I asked them to put an S, but it is what it is. Maybe there weren't enough letters available, but they will give you $20 off when you make your first purchase. And I will see you guys tonight at 8 p.m.
Hey everybody, if you've made it this far, we thank you. If you'd like to support NYY Recaps, please like and subscribe or pay a visit to our Shopify store for some great Yankees merch. Yes. If you're watching on YouTube, the link is in the description. But if you're listening to the audio version of this podcast, just visit NYYRecaps.shop. If you really want to support NYY Recaps and help keep the show going year after year, join up as a member. It's $5, and members get their names up in lights during each post-game show. We're also on all podcast platforms, Instagram and Twitch this year. So give us a follow if you use any of those platforms. We're expanding, and we have you to thank for making this such a great community. We'll see you next time.
It is your destiny.
Case closed.
Ball game over.
Most impressive.